Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Big ML. I am more of a Twitch streamer as of now, but I kinda wanna start uploading YouTube videos. I kinda wanna get some content onto YouTube. And today we are starting off with a 5-0 in Great League, Open Great League with Shadow Venusaur, Stunfisk and Shadow Lapras. This team is inspired by a community member and friend of mine. You can call me Duke, also known as Gordon the Flash. And he had all of these Pokemon in his show 6 Pick 3 roster in the Toronto Regionals, where he reached the 5th place. Shadow Venusaur hits like a truck. Frenzy Plant, a very good move, and the additional shadow damage really adds up. Even when the move is resisted, if the Pokemon isn't too tanky, it's just gonna lose a lot of HP. And Shadow Lapras? I think Shadow Lapras is a really good pick right now. It is good against the Flyers that just got a buff as a Noctowl, right? More and more Noctowl. It can do well against Grass Pokemon as long as you have shields. Right? The Ice Shard's really hitting hard. Being able to win against Trevenant. And then you also have the Surf for potential Stunfisk or other ground types. Alright, let's start the battles. In the lead, we have Venusaur versus Trevenant. This is not the greatest matchup because we're taking quite some damage from the Shadow Claw damage. But we are just gonna throw a Frenzy because they just do so much. And opponent even respects it, even though it was just a Frenzy. Now we switch to Lapras, we take the move. Lapras is kinda tanky. Opponent switched into Pelipper. We are gonna try to reach the Skull Bash right here. Surf is not gonna do much, but opponent throws a Weather Ball. We barely survive. This is a pretty good rank. Lapras. We get the Surf off and get knocked out. Now I'm gonna go into Stunfisk. I don't want to take all that wing attack damage. Opponent is gonna outpace us to a Weather Ball. We're gonna build up a little bit over and then throw the Rock Slide, potential KOing Rock Slide before they reach the second Weather Ball. Opponent brings in Lantern. I kinda wanna avoid the Venusaur. Makes sense, but this is not a good matchup for the Lantern. They get to the Surf at the same time as we click on the Earthquake. It is a CMP tie, we're letting it go, we can survive it. They let it go as well, and we both switch. It is the lead matchup all over again. I know this is probably just going to be a Seed Bomb, but we have to respect it. We are running out of HP. We're shielding it. Opponent throws another move. It's going to be another Seed Bomb. Luckily, I have a second shield. And double Frenzy Plant is ready. We're just going to fire it. Opponent shields the first move. Now they're out of shields. And this will seal the deal. Trevenant is out of the game. And the Lantern is gonna get Vine Whip down. GG. Next opponent. Let's see what we are facing. Opponent with a Scrafty in the lead. That is a good lead for us. Also because we want to avoid Scrafty with our backline. They switch into Driftblim. We go into Lapras, resisting the Icy Wind. Shadow Ball would do a lot of damage, however. They do go for the Shadow Ball. We take it though, and we are not really in a risk to get farmed down. I'm throwing right here, right before they reach the Shadow Ball. They, however, go for the Icy Wind. We let it go, it's double resisted, we can really take it. Lapras, even as a Shadow Pokemon, kinda tanky. We go for the Surf, it does knock out, and I actually prefer this over them not throwing the Icy Wind, because now we have less HP, the Scrafty gets less farm. We go into Veno again, opponent switches into Koffigrigus, and by now we know it's important that we keep the shields for the Veno. Veno is gonna win this game for us. We're letting the Shadow Ball go, Stumps can take it, even a hard hitting move as a Shadow Ball. We go for the Earthquake. It gets no shielded. Opponent throws another move. They go for the Dark Pulse. It is enough. And now Venusaur is just gonna farm down. They don't get to another move. And here comes Frenzy Plant number 1. Luckily for them, they have a shield. Will they shield the second one? I guess they will. Opponent shields the second one, but now there are shields down. We will just shield both of their incoming moves. It's gonna be pop, but we're resisting the pop. We're resisting the counter. They don't counter us down in time. Here comes yet another frenzy, and that KOs. GG. Next game. Venusaur into Umbreon. Kinda neutral lead. If the Umbreon has Psychic, it's rough. Opponent switches into Nidoqueen. We respond with the Stunfisk, shielding the first move. In case it's the Earth Power. And at this point, I kinda thought, oh, I think I did a mistake. My opponent was probably trying to lure out my Stunfisk. They might have a Venusaur in the back. Opponent lets the Earthquake go. This was kind of surprising. I thought I would see a shield. And in come they with Deoxys. And while Deoxys does super effective damage with counter, it cannot really hit the Stunfisk with the charge moves. All of them being at least resisted. And right here, my opponent realized this is not gonna end well for me. This is not gonna end well for me. And they might have left the room. They might have left the room. They are in shambles. And I'm farming down the DD. We're gonna throw the Earthquake. For some reason, I think this happens when the opponent like quits the game or the app. Closes the app. There's like always this long pause, right? When you throw the charge move, right here. And I don't know why that happens. I'm gonna go into my Veno again, because we almost have the frenzy, and that knocks them out. I think even if my opponent would have continued playing, there was no way for them to win. Me responding with the Stunfisk to the Nidoqueen and them no shielding kind of sealed the deal, because they didn't have a great answer for my Stunfisk. Alright, here comes another Stunfisk in the lead. Against Shadow Veno, a lot of people tend to just throw Rock Slides, because 2 of them are enough. Opponent shields the Frenzy Plant. It would do a lot. I'm respecting the Earthquake. I don't want to lose my Veno right away. And right here, opponent tries to catch my move. Goes into the jump bluff. Luckily, I am patient, didn't throw my move. And we are able to throw the Sludge Wave. I'm building up to yet another move and then switch out to catch the Acrobatics. This is a pretty good situation for us. We throw the move before they get to the Energy Ball. Opponent has quite some energy on their Stunfisk, so they will outpace us to the Earthquake. And I don't think it's worth giving up the last shield right here. Especially if the opponent goes for some sort of bait that could really be devastating for us. We go back into Veno. Opponent no shields the Frenzy Plant. That just knocks them out. And right here, opponent decides to give up, leave the game. They were probably aware that we're gonna be able to reach double Sludge Bomb before they knock us out, and yeah, it's just made them leave. In comes a Medicham for the next lead. Even though they do resisted damage, I'm not the biggest fan of this matchup, because the Ice Punches just hurt a lot. Alright, look how much counter damage they did. They did more counter damage than we did wind damage, even though it's resisted. They throw the Ice Punch, and right here they try to catch. Fortunately, I did not throw my move right there. We built up to double Frenzy Plant, switch into our Stunfisk. Stunfisk is a really, really good Pokemon to pair up against the Bastion, being able to pretty much one-shot with the Earthquake. I'm even undercharging right here, and to my surprise my opponent decides to go for a shield. I think this is not the move, because we outpaced them yet again to the Earthquake. They go down, no more shields, and this is where they decide, alright, I've had enough, get me out. And that's it, that's the 5-0. I've played quite a lot more with this team on stream at Big ML on Twitch, and I have to say I really like the Lapras. Alright, in combination with the Venu, they're doing really well. Stunfisk is also very solid Pokemon. I think this is a great team. This is a team that has a lot of charge move pressure, because also the serfs are just doing a lot. And yeah, that's gonna be it. If you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like, maybe push the subscribe button, or leave a comment. And see you next time. Peace.